I never believed in ghosts. Not really. I liked horror movies, sure, and I'd read creepy stories online, but in the back of my mind, I always thought, people exaggerate. Things like that don't actually happen. That was before I moved into apartment 3B on Dauphine Street, in the French Quarter of New Orleans. Before the music started. Before I met him, it was late August when I signed the lease. New Orleans was heavy with summer heat, the kind that clings to your skin like a wet blanket. The air smelled of coffee, fried food, and something else, something old. The landlord, a wiry old man with watery blue eyes, handed me the keys without even asking for a deposit. "Most people don't stay long," he said, almost under his breath. I laughed it off. Guess I'll be the exception. The building was beautiful in its own way, peeling paint, wrought iron balconies, high ceilings. My apartment was small but charming, hardwood floors, tall windows with wooden shutters, and a clawfoot tub in the bathroom. It was perfect for me, or so I thought. That first night, I unpacked a few boxes, poured myself a glass of wine, and sat by the window listening to the city. I could hear the hum of conversation from the street, the occasional passing car, the faint strains of jazz drifting up from a nearby bar, but then, around midnight, I heard something strange. It wasn't coming from outside, it was coming from inside my apartment. The sound was faint at first, a slow, mournful trumpet playing somewhere down the hall. But the hall in my building was dead quiet, and I knew all my neighbors were gone for the weekend. The music got louder, like someone was walking toward my apartment while playing. I froze. My glass of wine trembled in my hand. Then, just as suddenly as it had started, the music stopped. The next morning, I asked my neighbor, Mrs. Harlan, if anyone in the building played an instrument. She looked at me strangely. "No, dear. The last man who played music here, well, that was years ago." "What happened to him?" I asked. Her lips tightened. "He died. Right in your apartment, actually. Heart attack, they said. But some folks think it was something else." The second night, the music returned. This time, I decided to follow it. I stepped into the hall, barefoot, heart pounding. The music seemed to be coming from inside my living room. When I walked back in, I froze. There was a man standing by my window. Tall, thin, wearing a dark suit and a fedora. His back was to me, and in his hands, he held a trumpet. I opened my mouth to speak, but no sound came out. The man turned slightly, just enough for me to see his face. His eyes were empty. Not like blind eyes, but hollow, black voids. The trumpet fell from his hands without making a sound, and in the blink of an eye, he was gone. Over the next few days, I started digging. I went to the local library, searched old newspapers, asked around. I learned his name was Elias Blue Duval, a jazz musician who had lived in my apartment in the 1950s. He was brilliant, but troubled. Rumor had it he dabbled in voodoo, seeking inspiration for his music from darker places. One night, he was found dead in his apartment. No cause could be determined. The coroner simply wrote undetermined. The more I read about Elias, the more the music in my apartment changed. It wasn't just mournful anymore, it was seductive, hypnotic. I found myself sitting for hours in the dark, listening, unable to move. Sometimes, I'd catch myself swaying, almost dancing, as if my body wasn't my own. One night, I woke up standing in front of my window, staring out at the street below. I didn't remember getting out of bed. From the corner of my eye, I saw him again, Elias, standing right beside me. This time, he smiled. The final night started like the others, the music, soft at first, then louder, richer. I sat in my armchair, transfixed. Elias stepped out of the shadows, trumpet in hand, and extended his other hand to me. I don't know why, but I took it. The room around me dissolved into a smoky nightclub from another era. People in 1950s clothes laughed and danced. The air was thick with cigarette smoke and perfume. Elias led me to the center of the floor. We danced. The more I moved, the heavier my body felt, like I was sinking into the floor. Then I realized the people around us weren't alive. Their faces were pale, eyes black and hollow like his. They stared at me, smiling. I tried to pull away, but Elias's grip was iron. His music grew louder, pounding in my head. "You're mine now," he whispered. I woke up the next morning, lying on my living room floor. The apartment was silent. My head throbbed, and there were bruises on my wrists where he had held me. I packed my things and left that same day. Sometimes, late at night, I think I hear it again, faint jazz music, calling me back. And sometimes, I almost want to answer.